story ideas do you have? Do you have maybe 3? Do you have maybe 5, 10? Do you have 15? Like, how many story ideas do you have? If you're like me, you have a lot of story ideas. And in fact, I actually went and I made a list. I made a list of all of my story ideas, and I counted 30. I counted 30 story ideas. Now, this includes stories that I have finished and stories that I plan to write in the future. And so I made this list, and this is actually like the first draft of my list because I can't find my updated copy. But I actually have since then have added more story ideas to this list, and it's crazy. Where am I getting these ideas? If you have a hard time getting ideas for your story, let me tell you a little secret that I have discovered that helps me get so many story ideas. It's crazy. I'm talking about stock images. Stock images are like so awesome. Like, where have they been all my life? Why have I not discovered them before? I have been obsessed with stock images lately. If you've watched my previous video on book covers, I talked a little bit about stock images and how I've been on a stock image website and I've been looking at pictures and I'm trying to find pictures that would look great for my book covers. What I didn't anticipate was that it would actually generate like way more story ideas. Like, oh my God, I don't even know, can my muse handle this? This is crazy. Like, let me tell you how I feel. It's kind of like I have so many book ideas that they're all trying to get out at once. And sometimes that makes it hard to focus on one project. I'm getting better at that. I used to like juggle stories. Like, I'd write a little bit on this story and then I'd write a little bit on that story. I am getting better about focusing just on one story, but usually I've got at least another project like in the background. Like, for instance, I'm writing the teacher and cop romance right now, but that's not my only work in progress. I also have the third Anna story. I've got the work in progress there. I'm almost done with that story, but I worked on that story last year and I got like so burned out on it that I had to take a break from it, and I have not returned to it yet, but I do want to finish that story this year. But yeah, what it feels like all these story ideas are just trying to get out all at once. It's like I just envision this crowd of people like all like trying to like go through the door at the same time, and it's like, oh my God, this is just so crazy. I got too many ideas. But I am getting better at trying to focus on one. But the good thing is that I've got plenty of ideas. So once I finish this book that I'm working on, I've got another story idea, and then I got another story idea, and I've got 30 plus story ideas. So I think I'm going to be busy for the next several years, which is good because you know what? The more books I publish, the more I'll make from my writing. So there you go. Okay, so what I did was I looked at a couple of different stock image websites. Actually, I really only looked at 2. I looked at Depositphotos and I looked at Shutterstock, and I just found more images that I liked on Depositphotos. So I went with Depositphotos. So I ended up getting a subscription plan because I have decided I am going to make my own book covers. So I wanted to go ahead and start getting ideas and getting images for my book covers. So I decided to do the subscription plan because it's cheaper. You actually get more images. You get more bang for your buck if you do the subscription plan, because you can, if you want to, you can just go online and just buy a few images, but you're gonna pay like so much money for them. And I don't remember the exact prices off the top of my head, but I think if you get like 10 images, it's like $50 or something. Or like if you just get like 2 images, or maybe it's like 2, I think it's if you buy 3 images. Yeah, I think it's if you buy 3 images, you get like $50, it's like $50 or something. And whatever it is, it's crazy expensive. Don't do that. If you do the subscription plan, which is like $29 a month, you get 30 images. So that's like 97 cents for each image. And I decided to do the 2-month plan, or I decided to do it for 2 months. So I've got 60 images now, and these are all images that I'm going to use for, you know, some of these images I have in mind for a specific book, but some of the images I just thought were pretty cool, and I thought, well, hey, maybe I'll write a book about that. But this is what happened. As I was looking for stock images, I would find an image and I would get a story idea from that image. And it's kind of interesting because when I'm writing a story, I have in my head an image of what the character looks like. And then I go online and I look for a stock image, and then I'm disappointed repeatedly because I'm trying to find a picture of the people that match the character in my head. And it's hard to find like those exact people. You have to just kind of find someone who looks close enough, if that makes sense. So I'm like, okay, you know, they kind of look like the people in my story. I'll use them. So now I'm looking at these stock images and I'm getting an image of what the character looks like from the stock image, and then now it's like, oh, I'm getting a story idea. So this has actually been really great for generating story ideas, just looking at pictures. And so you can do this, and you don't even have to buy the stock images if you don't want to. You can go and make a free account, and you can just add images. You can just like add them as a favorite. There's no obligation to buy them. You can just add them as a favorite. And so you can do this, and this has just been so awesome. It's been really fun too. I think the images that I am most excited about are the images for my Anna series. So what happened was I was looking for images for my Anna series, and I found a picture of a model of a girl about 11 or 12 years old, which is perfect. That's how old my character is. And I found this image of her, and I'm like, okay, this looks like Anna. This looks like Anna. So I actually did have good luck with the stock image for that. I had an image of what the character looked like in my head, and I was worried I would not be able to find an image of a girl who looked kind of like that character, but I did. The image I found looks pretty close to what I imagined she would look like. And so I used this, I got this image, and the great thing about this particular model was that she did multiple photo shoots, and it looked like she did these photo shoots at different times and at different ages. So I had a picture for the 7th grade story, and then I had a picture for the 8th grade story, and I kind of like cheated with the summer story. I got an image of a girl, but I got her from behind. She's at the beach, she's looking at the ocean. You only see like the back of her head, which is fine. That's actually great, because I don't think I'm gonna get an image, you know, of this girl at the beach. So, but it worked out great. And so I was all set with my Anna series. Stories 1 through 4. Great. This is wonderful. And then I happened to be looking for more images. I was like typing in, you know, teenage girl stressed out or whatever, because I think like a lot of my characters are stressed out about something. So I'm like typing in teenage girl stressed out, and I come upon this image of this girl. And I thought to myself, hey, that girl looks familiar. Like, I think that's the same girl that I had for my Anna 6th, 7th, 8th story. It's like, I think that's the same girl. Now, I can't really tell for certain if it's the same girl, because they do have a little feature on Depositphotos where you can, when you pull up a picture, and you can click the tab that says same model, and it'll pull up other images of that same model. But I've noticed that not all the time that works. It doesn't work for all of them. I guess maybe if the pictures are taken by maybe a different photographer, they don't always show up. But I'm looking at this girl, this picture that I find, and this girl looks exactly like the girl from the other pictures. And then it's like I find another picture and another picture. I'm like finding multiple pictures of this girl, different photo shoot, and she looks older. And so now you know what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking, okay, maybe the story is not going to stop at 8th grade. Am I crazy enough to just like have a 9th grade story and a 10th grade story, 11th grade story, a senior story? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it because I think I have to. This series is very near and dear to my heart. I based this series on not all of my experiences from school, but you know, I definitely put some of myself into this story because I want it to feel real, like the real school experiences that a girl experiences. So anyway, I have found these pictures. And so now I guess it looks like I've got more stories to write. So this list right here that I have made, yeah, it just got bigger. I'm gonna have to like update it like again. You can just like ignore all the highlighter there. I just, I was trying to highlight the stories that I had found a picture for, and the ones that are not highlighted were ones that I hadn't found a picture for yet, but I found pictures for all of these now, so that's actually pretty good. But yeah, deposit photos. I love deposit photos. I am just going crazy over all these stock images. Like, I have got to stop. Like, I've got to stop looking at them because I'm afraid if I look at them anymore, I'm going to see another image that I want, and now I'm going to spend like then I'll end up spending like another like $29 a month because I've got enough pictures. I've got 60 images. I don't need like any more images. I've got enough. And that's not like 60 story ideas. I'll like some of the images I'm going to use like multiple images for the book covers. Like usually there's like a background photo and then there's like the person, and I'll just, you know, make them look like one picture. There's only one book cover that I've actually used 3 images for, but most of the stories, most of the book covers only have 1 or 2 images. So I've got plenty of images, and I've got tons of book ideas, so I better get started on them. And I better, speaking of ideas, I've got more ideas for my Rachel and Chase story. And it's Camp NaNoWriMo as I'm filming this, so I better get to work. Have you tried out stock images before? Have you tried out these websites? They're really fun. If you're thinking about making your own book covers, I do suggest heading over to Depositphotos because you just might find that you get a few more book ideas, or maybe maybe you don't want any more book ideas. Maybe you got too many already. Maybe you're like me. You just like have like 30 plus book ideas, and I don't know how my muse is going to handle this. I wonder how long it's going to take me to write those stories. I better get to work. See y'all later.